Hey guys, this is Josh. I'm with sheifiproductions. Excited to check out this really cool foot switch. It's hopefully I get the name and number and all that good stuff right. It's a UFC201, I believe is the correct number. I'll double check that. But it's for Quilter. This is the Micro Pro Mach 2 that I'm using it with. It's a really cool 6-position foot switch. So I wanted to go over it a little bit today. Some of the cool features it has. Some are pretty obvious and some I wasn't even fully aware of when I bought it, which was actually kind of a cool bonus, really. It's really nifty, especially if you're going to use this amp live. So you have a channel 1 and 2. That's going to switch between your two different channels of the Quilter. You have your main guitar channel, and then you have the mic line, which is typically more for like acoustic or vocals, but you can use it as a second line for your guitar, and I'll show you that. It works really well. You have a boost function, which is on and off. Probably hard to see in this video, but what's nice too, not only does this button go on, but on the amp, whatever you're pressing will light up. So for example, here my boost on the amp is lit up. I turn it off, it's gonna turn off, right? Your limiter you can turn on or off. It's a little bit like a compressor, not exactly, but it kind of smoothens out your distortion tones. Your tremolo, pretty self-explanatory, on and off. Reverb on or off, and then you have effects loop you can turn on or off. So 6 dimensions that you can all easily foot switch. So what I want to show you is kind of how it works, and also how you might use it, just kind of how I'm using it early on. There's obviously a ton of different ways you can use it, especially with a versatile amp like this. So just kind of going through some of the different things on the amp. For example, channel 1 and channel 2. Here you notice my channel 1 is lit up, and right now I have the limiter on, which doesn't really do a lot clean, and my reverb is on. So this is going to be the channel, the mic lines. It's just a gain and an EQ. So you would probably use this for a clean sound, right? Right? Again, I don't want to make it a demo about the amp specifically, but you can get a really nice clean sound. If you're comparing it to the first channel, I find it's closest to the Quilter full Q setting. It's a really nice full, it's not real scooped mids, it's just nice full spectrum clean. So what's nice here is I have a nice clean sound, right? Very clean. If I even want to turn my reverb off and do like some cool funky stuff, I could. So very nice to be able to turn off the reverb, on or off. I'll turn it back on here. The boost, pretty obviously it turns on your boost. Again, it's nice when you click it, your boost will light up here, as well as which one. I have it on the cream setting, so it's kind of cool here. My current setting is I have a clean sound. My boost sound, it's not on too high, but it's gonna get me into like a little bit of a light bluesy overdrive. Right? So nice. Sounds really nice. Again, I can turn that on or off. Now here's one thing I wasn't fully aware of, and it's where the foot switch can actually give you more options than if you didn't own the foot switch. So what I mean by that is, on my second channel here with just the gain and the EQ on my Micro Pro, I can now turn my reverb on or off, but I can also do my tremolo on or off. And without this foot switch, you can't use the tremolo on this setting. But now if I turn my tremolo on, I just want some nice chords or whatever I'm doing. It's got a really nice tremolo, right? So super useful in that now on this first channel, I can turn my tremolo on or off, and I can turn my reverb on or off. One other thing too is my high cut and my limiter are actually active on this channel now. Whereas if you don't have the foot switch, when you plug into this mic line channel, it's just that, right? It's just gain and EQ. You have reverb, but you wouldn't be able to turn it on or off. You'd have to go and dial it. So right now what I really like is I have a clean channel. I can turn tremolo on or off. I could turn reverb on or off. The limiter again isn't doing a whole lot, but I can turn that on or off. and then my boost, right? Right now it's a distortion. Well, there's a whole bunch of different kinds. I could do it just for like a volume boost, right? If I'm doing something clean, I don't know what. Right? Whatever I'm playing there, right? So I'll put it back on clean for now. But already in that first channel I have clean sound. I could go to any boost I want. In this case I just kind of do like a light overdrive, bluesy thing, and then my other pedals. Now here, channel 1 or 2, obviously I switched to, I guess you'd think of this as channel 2 and the other one channel 1, I guess. So this was all channel 2. Channel 1, again, the nice thing is it lights up. So if you had a gig or something like that, it wouldn't be hard to see what's on or what your levels are at. So the way I like to run this is I have a channel 2 is totally clean, right? And then the other channel for my dirty sounds is a little more martially. The really nice thing is you have a 3-band EQ. So for example, I can make this other channel with the dirt much more mid-heavy with a little bit of high cut, and then my clean channel is still nice and full. So here is, I'll go ahead to my bridge here. So here's my other channel. Again, it's set to, what is this, brown, which is, I believe, kind of a martially setting. Again, what I really like is the distortion sounds really good, but again, I can EQ this. So I can have a different EQ for my cleans compared to my distortions, which I really like. Again, I want my cleans, well, clean, right? And then I want my distortion typically to have more mids in it, just so it's a little more pleasant to the ears. By the way, you probably can't see it. I'm using a Ernie Music Man Cutlass Strat, which I really like. These are single coils. They're pretty low output pickup, so you know the settings will change on that. Now here, of course, I can put my boost on top of that, and I can control how much the boost is. Right now it's fairly moderate, but now it'll be a little more high gain, right? Right, so right now that's my heavier gain sound. Obviously I can make that more gainy if I want. But let me kind of show you another thing that I like so far with this foot pedal. I almost have 4 different stages of gain, which is currently kind of how I like it set up. I have totally clean. Still got some reverb on. Now I put my boost still on that clean channel. It'll be like a light distortion or over bluesy sound. Again, light but nice. Then that's kind of stage 1, stage 2. My third stage of gain is when I switch channels. Now it's a little bit more of a martially British sound. So not only more gain, but there's more mids in the EQ. And then if I put a boost on top of that, this will be my highest gain for now. Now again, of course I could change that. I could make this more gain, or I could put more gain on my boost. Typically I don't play too super high gainy. Now of course your reverb and tremolo you could turn off on either channel too. So if I have distortion on, I could turn the tremolo on or off. So it really gives you a ton of different sounds. Super easy to use. I just have it up here so you can see it. The lights are nice and easy to see. You just click it on the floor. Super easy to go on and off. Now one other thing is the effects loop, which is also a super cool option to have. If you have a single channel amp where you use dirt with pedals, you don't always need an effects loop. But if you're going to use gain from the amp, it's going to sound better with an effects loop, especially modulation and chorus and all that kind of stuff. So I'll show you a picture here in the video, but I have a pedal board down here. It's kind of my smaller one that you currently can't see, but I can turn this effects loop on and off. There's a ton of really cool, useful things you can do with it. I'll just go over a couple of the ways I might use it, but I mean, there's a million different things you could do. So let's say, for example, one cool thing I could do is, let's say I'm using kind of a bluesy tone here, slight distortion, right? So let's let's say that's my tone. Now right now on my pedal board that's running through the effects loop, I have a spark booster I just turned on, which is going to give it a little more volume, and then I have a delay pedal. So right now it's bypassed because my effects loop is not on, right? But now if I turn it on, right, I automatically have delay, and I have a little bit of a volume boost. Again, I'll play the same lick twice. There it is, right? So you could set up a kind of a cool, unique solo sound, and then just with one click of the button, you could turn on a boost, more distortion, delay, chorus, whatever you want. You could go crazy. Let's say if I want it a little more pronounced, let's see. If I go to the other channel, let's say this is my, that's my sound. If I click the effects loop on now. So right, if I like my lead sound a particular way, like let's say I want to be clean without delay, but then whenever I want a solo, I want a little delay on, or even chorus, or more distortion or something like that, I could easily do that, which is kind of cool. You could also, depending on what's on your pedal board, like I could keep my effects loop on if I, maybe I want to have delay on all the time. So if I want to keep some delay on even for my clean stuff, I'll turn it up a little bit here, but let's say I like that sound. The nice thing here, it's going to sound good even with dirt. If you had a delay pedal going before the dirt in this amp, it typically is not a sound you'd want. But in this case, if I put on distortion, right, go the bridge. Turn it off. So anyway, I don't want to make the video about effects loops because that's a whole nother video. But if you want to use distortion from the amp and you want to put something on top of it, or chorus, any kind of modulation or delay or additional reverb, it's going to sound much, much better in that effects loop than it would in front of the distortion. Also, I think I forgot to mention in the beginning, super easy. It comes with a Cat 5 cable, one end here, one end to the back of the amp, and that's it. So this is the Quilter. The foot switch, they make a couple other ones. I believe that are like 2 or 3 buttons that maybe are a little bit cheaper and have more options built into each button. But this is definitely, from my research, the one that would allow you to do the most right away. It's a little pricey. I think it's $170 or something like that. But you can get a ton of different options for it. Like all Quilter stuff, it's made really, really well. I'd have to look up what it weighs. I'll look it up. It's not super light, but it's not super heavy either. But it's definitely sturdy. It's not like a cheap, light, cheap plastic or something like that. It feels really good. I've only had it about a month, so I'm not going to say, I can't go on record and say it's super durable, but it feels like it will be. Like I would have no worries about this thing breaking. So I'd highly recommend it, especially if you plan on gigging live. It's kind of a no-brainer. If you're using the amp, it's more of a pedal platform, you may or may not use it. If you're using it mainly just for jazz, you might not need it, or you might be able to do with one of the smaller ones, like maybe you just want to turn your reverb on or off or something like that. But if you do cover bands or variety bands, and you want to be able to use the different sounds and distortions within the amp, I highly, highly recommend this. So let me know what you think. If you have any specific questions about this foot switch, how to use it, how it might help you, please let me know in the comments. Subscribe, there's lots of cool stuff coming on the way, some music videos, some more gear demos, something for everyone. So for now, that's it. Josh Hyman, I will see you next time.